This is Hammerman. Today I have a rotisserie chicken, and I'm going to share it with my dog, with my puppy. I heard of a story of a dog that was going to pass away. The vet had only given him a month to live. So the owner brought the dog every day a rotisserie chicken. And that dog lived many years after. Here I have one from HEB, a local grocery store. These dogs are ready to eat. There's going to be a lot of vitamins in them. You want to make sure you don't give them the skin. There's a lot of salt in the skin. So I'm going to eat this low key. I'm going to eat the skin myself. It does have a lot of protein, and I'm going to use this to put the bones right. You hear Wally being occasional. And this meat, Crystal loves that meat. Cookie's smaller, so I'll give her a smaller amount. And we have Wally here. She wants to be close to the action. In a few moments, they'll probably move around to see if they can get a better view of what is going on and be closer to the food. So what I like about the chicken, you can easily tear off a sliver, make it appropriate for you, whichever dog you're feeding. The bigger piece for the bigger dogs, long, smaller piece for the little dog. Rotisserie chicken, as you know, they cook it at a long period of time, over a period of hours. So the meat itself is not exposed to very high temperatures. Whenever they make the dog food, if you do your research, what you might find is they cook the dog food at a very high temperature, which can cause some chemical reactions. There's a lot of thermal energy in heat, and that heat could cause some chemical reactions that are not necessarily natural. It can cause oxidation of the dog inside of the dog's tissue, disrupting mitochondria, causing stress, leading to DNA damage, which is why we're seeing a lot of dogs have issues as they get older. I feed my dogs antioxidants to try to reverse some of the damage caused by the dog food that are being cooked too hot. I also try to buy brands of dog food that are safe for the dog. See, they're all excited. I believe this is a natural way for dogs to eat. I go to the grocery store and I get them the food. And then I come and we share as a pack. As a pack, we're all bonded together. We are united as a group. We trust one another. And also, rotisserie chicken is relatively cheap. the cost for one chicken is less than the tax and the tip you're gonna pay if you go to a restaurant to eat food that is probably unhealthy, and you get a lot less of it. You save money to bring and build value for the people. And also, we get to share with those we love. Inside, you'll find some cartilage. Here it is. I don't know if you can tell, but the cartilage is very expensive. I try to chew it into small enough pieces so that, but I don't think dogs you have to worry about, so that it doesn't lodge in the throat and block breathing. Dogs actually have a lot less chance of choking than a human would because of our gift given by God in order to speak and talk. Our throat have it moved in such a way that sometimes the food goes down into the lungs and block the air cavity or block the air cavity. Supposed to go into the stomach where we intend it to go. But a dog have a bark. They don't have the developed vocal cords that humans do. So they have less of a risk of the choking. But you want to be careful not to give them any bone. Some bone can be particularly dangerous. They can puncture the dog, can puncture the internal stomach, the throat. The bone can be sharpened when broken with a jagged edge. One chicken, and I am a 270-pound man. I could probably eat all of this by myself. So this is really the perfect amount for me to share with those who care about it. Dogs do have other ways of communicating. This Wally here, she is deaf. If you notice her ears are always straight up, it's because she's trying to hear. She can hear a little bit. She's trying to hear as much noise as she can. Sometimes she misinterprets the noise because she doesn't understand. Communicate with facial, body language. Cookie here. When you say her name, Cookie, you can see she elevates it. Crystal here also communicates with it. But Wally's is always straight up, but sometimes she'll fold it down. Being very gentle, they're trusting that I will eventually go to them, creating order, taking turns one at a time, and everybody will be taken care of. So what I do is I make sure they all have Well, almost equal. But I don't necessarily give them all the same amount. As I said, I'll give a smaller amount to Cookie, but I will still give it to her the same frequency as the others. When you cook, a meat, it can destroy some of the vitamins. Vitamin C, in particular, is destroyed with cooking. That's why even though meat had vitamin C, when you cook it, you would still need to supplement your diet with vitamin C. So maybe some cultures that eat food that are not as cooked, sushi for example, or even maybe eating steak rare. I haven't done an experiment, but I imagine a rare steak would have more vitamin C for the end user than a well done steak. I'm not entirely sure the relationship between low temperature cooking and vitamin C. Of course, you'll be cooking it longer. But it's one thing to think about. But at least if the meat is overcooked, that can cause some chemical damage, which may damage the dog whenever the dog or the human, whenever they swallow the food that has been burned, for example. Cookie ran off. She's gonna be scratching her face, getting a little impatient. You doing okay? I will give Cookie a little bit. White meat. Up. It's gonna be easy cleanup after the meal. Basically, all the trash will be the bag in which we bought the chicken in. You could also take the bones when you're done and then cook the bones. Make a bone broth, chicken bone broth. Dogs love it on their food. Chicken bone broth, if I'm not mistaken, has a lot of gelatin. Gelatin protein. Healthy for the coat, the dog's skin, overall health. These are very focused on this food. Again, I am not giving them Too much of the skin, and I believe the skin was probably prepared with salt. For the dog. I'll just give them the meat. Eating food this way is a great way to connect with nature. Connect with your surroundings. Connect outside. Hold a piece of cartilage. Gonna give that to Crystal. They love the cartilage. The body will use it with vitamin C. So, dogs are very good at making vitamins. They make it very well. They don't have the issue of vitamin C deficiency as the human would. Which may explain why dogs can heal faster of a wound. But I'm not exactly sure if they can make collagen. I'll definitely research it. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. But if I'm not mistaken, collagen is recommended for dogs. It does seem to don't. But I'm definitely going to look into it some more. Tell me in the comments below. If you know. And a human definitely benefit from eating collagen. But the collagen works with the vitamin C to repair the damage. If you can imagine, you're repairing a house that is broken. Vitamin C will be the nail to replace or to nail up the boards that are falling down and sagging. Collagen will be the board itself that you replace with. So as you know, when you're repairing a house, the damage might be the nails, or it might be the board that need to be nailed, or that might need a new board entirely. This bone right here, I believe it's one we gotta watch out for. Give it Wally collagen. The bones when it breaks. Sometimes be very jagged and it's very sharp. I'm not going to be giving any of these bones to the dog. Giving them a piece of meat. got the washer and dryer going. It is spring. There's a lot of humidity in here. You lucky. Lucky. I couldn't keep it. Oh, you hungry? So today I'm doing some spring cleaning. I have the washer and dryer going right now. Washer and dryer. Or using one. Or buying one's an investment. But also using one is an investment too. You gotta have discipline and using. Washing all the blankets that we have. There might be some pollen, might be some humidity. Wash, get them dry, keep them clean. The drying of it will help remove humidity. Some blankets are bigger than others. Not going to be a one-size-fit-all approach. Depending on your washer, you might want to try to find a way to let the blanket soak for a little bit longer, or maybe to rinse in extra. I always give the tail to Wally. Wally has more chewing capacity. The tail has some very small calcium bits. Also some collagen. Cookie. Like Cookie gets very distracted. Maybe she's not as hungry. Yeah, smaller. Don't eat as much food. Or she might be trying to keep the flies away. Cookie's very good at making sure there's no winged intruder in the house, outside on the patio. Again, ready to make this smaller for Cookie. She's doing a great job. You want to watch out for flies. They can carry diseases. They land on the food. The bacteria from the meat can transfer to the food. We have cooked chicken and we're eating it right away. Maybe less of a concern. But you definitely want to be careful. Trying to land on the reviews. Alright, now I'm going to scrape off some of the meat. Scraping the meat off the bone. Got some of the neck right here. And the neck probably has a lot of flavor. The meat next to the bone could probably absorb some of the fat content of the bone itself. I'm not an expert at eating meat from the neck, but there's still food there. got this out of the store just a few minutes ago. Well, a few minutes before I started making this video. So it was on the hot plate. I think it might have been made today. Or yesterday. I'd be very surprised if it was more than 1 day old. The grocery store that has very high purchases. And if you go too late at night, then you're not going to be able to find it. I bought it at about noon. See cookies is over there. Diligently trying to keep the flies off the food. Wally and Crystal are focused on the prize. On the loot. On the loot from the hunt to the grocery store. What is it? What is it, Cookie? What is it, Cookie? Doing a good job keeping and all the flies away. Cookie likes this windy meat because it looks like more than what it really is. Cookie snapping at the outdoor flies going around. I haven't seen any land on this food. Seen them land on the bone, but we're going to discard the bone. Here's the whole chicken. We're going to cavity. I'm pretty sure that helps. I'll let Crystal have it. Crystal loves that part. I always give that part to Crystal. Give some to Wally. But I always make sure Crystal gets some. Cookie likes to jump around. Make sure she gets some collagen off her. Keep her tendon healthy. Prevent any damages from when she jumps and lands on the ground. Where are you at, Cookie? If you can see Cookie, let me know in the comments. There she is. Also, when you do the whole bird, get some organ meat, probably a little bit of a lemon. I give that to Crystal. Whenever she gets the liver, you can see her eyes widen. She really enjoys it. Right next to the bone. Big tender, probably has a lot of taste. Cookie. Yeah, Cookie. You know what Cookie is, let me know. Where is Cookie? Cookie. She is across the yard. She ran across the yard. Looked like she's been chasing that fly. And she's looking around for it too. one of it makes me love it better. Will always, should always come to you when you call it. It's only 14 pounds, so maybe don't need to eat as much as some of the others. Like flies are getting more common. We're about done. We've got a few more pieces of the pie. Get that. That looks like cookies back here. I'm about full. Gonna come to the last bit. Cookie. The cookie like to chase squirrels and birds and insects. Actually, almost got it that time. Almost got it. He's a little hunting dog. The littlest hunting dog I've ever seen in my life. Alright. Fold over nicely. Easy clean up. That was a wonderful meal, wasn't it? Yeah. Crystal looks happy. There was no antibiotic. Never fed animal byproduct. Rotisserie. No artificial ingredients. No preservative. No added hormone. Two pounds. Some of it was bone. I don't know exactly how much bone it was. But I would say that was a good meal. The dogs know it's probably time to go back inside.